Okay, right. So this is how generally the networks and all everything will happens here. Now, when reference to the types of payments as well as the mode of payments and all, when we talk about that, so these are the payments which I already explained you, like cash, checks, debit cards, e-wallets, bank transfers, all that, right? So these are the different types and mode of payments and all everything is being used here. When it comes to the payment system, now we were talking about the overview, whatever the explanation we have completed so far about how payment card works and all that. So how the payment transactions and all everything happens in reference to the payments and all everything was done so far. Now we are talking about the overview of payment system, where generally this overview of payment systems will be of two different types. One is about the traditional payment system and second will be called as electronic payment system. Usually traditional payment system is a system which is being used by us for very long time across the world, where we are using different drafts, PDs, checks, right? All these things, letter of credits, letter of intents, as I told you, right? So the example I have given you, letter of credit and letter of intents, because somebody wants to do some transactions and all in international trade. So whenever they wants to do some international trade transactions and all that, that letter of credits, letter of intents and all everything should be given, because there must be some kind of bank guarantee, there must be some kind of financial guarantee should be given. So to do this purchases and all that, because that purchase amount cannot be carried, as I told you earlier, it cannot be carried to the other sites and all that. Hence there is a need where whatever the transactions they were doing and all everything, those transactions must be with against to the guarantee. So these guarantees and all everything will be of two types. One, the amount of transaction what they want to do must be there in the bank account, or else they have to mortgage a property which is equivalent to the transactions what they have to make. So these are the traditional payment systems, right? Letter of credits, letter of intents, check drafts, all that. But the second way of payment systems and all everything, we call it as electronic payment systems. In this electronic payment systems and all that, there will be an electronic transfer and all everything, which we call it as ACHs and all that. So clearing houses, through some clearing house and all everything, these electronic transfers and all everything will be happens. Especially this ACH, annual clearing houses and all everything, automated this clearing houses and all everything happens when we are doing this global transactions. Whenever we are doing some international transfers and all that, through this ACH and all everything, these transfers and all everything is being happens. At the same time, RTGS is also one of the payment system, as a last time I have told you, especially in reference to an Indian context, Indian banking financial context. There will be of two types. One is NEFTs and second is RTGS. NEFTs and all everything will be used for small transactions. It will not be used for the high level transactions, and the NEFTs and all everything is being used for small transactions. There's a limited money of transactions and all, whereas RTGS and all everything is being used for the large scale transactions. That is what we call it as real-time gross service. RTGS, the full form of RTGS is real-time gross service. At the same time, there will be of international wire transfers will also be there. Like the example, chips and all everything will be there. Through that, this wire transfers and all everything can also be done. At the same time, whatever EBBPs and all that, right? Electronic bill payments and presenting systems. At the same time, card payments, cryptocurrencies like through bitcoins and all that. So all these things are comes under the electronic payment systems. So even till today, in the banking system, people were following both the practices, not only the electronic payment systems and all that, but even traditional payment systems and all are also using nowadays in these things and all that. So even traditional payment system are also using, at the same time electronic payment systems and all are also using nowadays in regular intervals, right? So this is how generally the overview of payment systems, which will be classified into two different parts. So one is for the traditional payments and second is for electronic payments and all that. Now excuse me, Now, in reference to the payments overviews and all, in reference to India and US and all, everything will be of two different types. This is what the difference I am showing you. In the left hand side, what you could see is the domestic payments and all that. Whereas even in the right hand side, you can see international payment transfers. Whereas in the domestic payments and all that, NEFTs, RTGSs, right? So IMPS or UPI payments, all these things comes under domestic. And whatever the transactions we are doing in international wire transactions and all everything, these transactions and all happens through SWIFT network. SWIFT is a network process usually being managed by the people, where whatever the kind of transactions or whatever the kind of payments and all everything we have to do in international wires and all everything happens through SWIFT network, all that. At the same time, there will be some annual there will be some ACHs and all everything will be there, where to do this online transactions and all using this PTSs like cash adjust transfers and all that. At the same time, RTGS and all everything happens through Fedwires and all. At the same time, real-time payments and all everything happens through RTPs in reference to the domestic payment system is concerned. But whereas when it comes to international wire transfers and all that, the SWIFT network is the thing which is being used because that is also a network, something like Visa, MasterCard, whatever that we use and all. The same way, actually, usually SWIFT network and all everything can also be used using this RTSPs and all that. So there are two different things. One is in domestic and second was international. In domestic, whatever the kind of electronic fund transfers and all everything used through this NEFT, RTGS, all that. Whereas international and all everything we are using this SWIFT networks and all. But whenever are we going to study about the overview about the India versus out of India, like US payment systems and all that, so we have to know about automated clearing houses. This is what generally ACH stands for, right? So ACH stands for. ACH stands for automated clearing house, which normally happens automatically, like whatever I can say that EMI transactions, EMIs, right? So for example, we have taken a loan. So whenever we have taken a loan, there will be some amount of money will be deducted from our account every month, right? Every month, like EMIs and all every month. So this is where generally this automated clearing houses and all everything plays a vital and important role, because all these whatever the EMI processes and all everything we follow in reference to the regular intervals and all that. So all these things happens through this automated clearing houses through ACH, all that. So these ACH and all everything will be worked on few different things. It just purely depends upon the market liquidity, what it happens. So whenever we talk about this market liquidities and all that, so it is all about the kind of economy which is being purely depend upon the demand and as well as supply of the goods, whichever is happened. At the same time, it is being under the control over the governments, whatever the government it could be, like it will be under the control of governments and all, because there should not be any kind of exaggeration in terms of the prices and all, everything should not be there, right? So because there must be a control over that, so which leads to the high prices and all that. So hence, in order to control that, government will have some regulating authority which will be looking after all this ACH folks, all that. At the same time, there will be a federal reserve system where the central banking system of US and all everything, simply we call it as Fed and all that. So these people usually establishes this for major different reasons for that. Because whatever the monetary policies or whatever the kind of Federal Reserve acts and all that, right? So if they want to maximize the employments, or if they wants to stabilize the prices, or if they wants to moderate the interest in terms of the long-term perspectives and all everything. For this purpose, generally ACH and all everything is being used for this purpose as well, in reference to the ACS market itself is concerned.